Hello, my name is Mads and I'm from Flowhow. In this video, I want to show you how you can use AI optimization in Moldex 3D 2025. Um, First of all, AI optimization is is a same you can say as a DOE where you build up a process, a set of um, test, and from that you draw some conclusions. In this case, with an AI optimization, you don't have to run all the simulations. You only run one simulation, and you get the output of one of the optimized choice. So what I've done here is a simple model um, with a part here, and in this part I have a differential wall thickness, so thin walls and a thick wall, and I run in ABS without fibers. If we look at the result here, what is important is the warpage and flatness. So if I look at the flatness here, we can just look at the warp first. It's here, and deformation. We can take out the linear shrinkage like that, and then we only look at the warp and 20, and we can see it bent upwards. And it bends upwards because of the volumetric shrinkage. We have a differential shrinkage in the part, and if we have differential shrinkage, we have the root cause for warpage, because that is based on differential shrinkage. So we can see here high shrinkage in the top, lower in the sides. If you have that, it has a tendency to get long at the bottom, and it will try to get smaller from the top surface, and when it does that, it will bend automatically as a banana. If we could get linear or more uniform shrinkage, we can maybe straighten it out. This can maybe be done by um, a profile packing, because then we could run with um, lower packing pressure in the start, and then increase the packing pressure afterwards. The problem is also um, just when we have a part in this length, there is a pressure drop. So if I look at the pressure at a given time, you can see um, that uh, we have a high pressure at this time at packing around the center. But if I jump a bit backwards and say, okay, after 2 seconds, we have this uh, pressure distribution inside the cavity. And if an area feels different, are packed differently with different packing pressure, it will also get a different shrinkage. So that's also why we have another, not only the wall thickness, but we also have the distance from the gate out to the end as a factor. But what I want is a flat part. So if I jump back to this one and hit flatness, I have measured the flatness here. I see a flatness of 0.13 um, millimeters. And I hope I can make that more flat. So what I've done here, this is the base run. Then I take a copy of that run. I have done that already. And in the process, I go in. I have the maximum packing pressure to 1000, knowing that I will not exceed 1000 um, bar. And then in the packing pressure profile, I go in and I split this packing time of 4.5 seconds. I split that in these steps to split it equally. Start from the end and just type in, say, 4, 3.5, etc. And give the packing pressure 500 bar. That doesn't matter right now. I do it stepwise because I if I could also try to do the polyline. I haven't tried that, but anyway, um, I do it stepwise, um, and yes, I've saved this. Now I want to do an optimized run based on this, trying to flatten this part as much as I can. So I use this one. I couldn't use this one up the base run because I only have a packing profile that is totally straight. But that doesn't matter. Just take a copy and then go to optimization, right click the run, go to optimization. You can choose, of course, the normal DOE wizard, but you also have now the possibility of AI optimization wizard. We'll try that. And now I have a AI optimization based on run 21. What I want to run is a full transient analysis, um, and then we'll let it try to optimize 30 iterations. Of course, if you don't want to use as much calculation time, push this down, but then it could be that it will not find uh, so converged um, result. Then go down to control factor, and the control factors are the things that I want to change, that it has possibilities to change within a range. So I go here, and then of course I can change fill time and whatever. But what I want to change is the packing pressure profile value percentage, and this percentage is of the 1,000 bar that I said that was maximum packing pressure. So if I put this in, it says section 1, yes, and I want to go between 10 to 80%. That means 10 to, 1,000 to 8, no, sorry, 100 to 800 bar in packing pressure. And then it's just a bit tedious. Section 2, section 3, and now I've finished this setup, um, and said that all 9 can be adjusted within 100 to 800 bar. The next thing is to put in the quality factor. What is the target for this simulation? And I think we'll just take a flatness here. You could, if you had a dimension already put on, you can use this dimension as a function for optimum, and you can put more quality factors in and then make a weighting between them so it can go for the target that you prioritize. But in this case, I just want the flatness and as small as possible value. Larger nominal, no. Um, so this is the quality factor, and then we have a possibility of put in some constraints. The constraint is a check mark that it checks, and if it's within this constraint, it will consider it as a valid solution. If it's not, it will try again. So in this case, I'll not a good thing if I'm changing the packing pressure. Okay, I will not exceed maybe uh, let's say 60 ton. I have a 60-ton machine, so I will not. The clamping force will should be lower than 60 ton. So in this case, I'll take lower as and give in 60 ton. So now it tries to find a solution within the 30 iterations by changing the packing pressure 9 steps to optimize for a flatter part, and with the restriction that it will not may not exceed the clamping force of 60 ton. I just say create, and it creates a run. Now it's just run this simulation, and I already did. Um, so now I have this total displacement by warpage and its flatness already, and it gave me a flatness now of 0.04, so much more flat. And we can see here, I will just go in here, flatness away with this, and then I will show the deformation. You can see it's much more flat when I scale the deformation. It just tips a bit up in the end. And then you can go back here and see the optimized run. It automatically makes update of the process. So now the process doesn't look like this with straight. It has adjusted all these according to its own optimization, and then it ends out with this profile. This profile you cannot take to a machine. So what I want is just a straight line going here, a jump up here, maybe a curve here, up to here, straight, and going down again, because this is just more simple. So what I did is, based on the input that I actually got here, I made an optimized run where I used a bit more user-friendly profile there. You can see it's based on my observation um, from the AI optimization, and I made this profile, and then I ran this, and I actually ended out with a flatness of 0.036. So you can actually, and you can try it out. The only thing uh, that that you have to do is define the factors and the quality. Of course, if you have a lot of different quality factors and also factors, control factors, then of course it takes longer time or to get a converged solution. And maybe there is a best solution, but maybe there's no good solution on it. Another result that you also get out is the AI optimization. You can take that out, and then you can click here and see the input. Then you have some coordinates um, based on the iterations, and you can see the flatness out here. So if you dig into this, then you can see, okay, these are the 9 steps, and you're able actually to see, okay, if I did like this, it totally went wrong. But if I did all these, it's narrowing in. And you can see the lowest is the 24th there. And then you have the here you can see the how it's changed in the specific iterations. And then we have the flatness here, how that changes based on the different iterations. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.